What is up, everyone, and how are you doing? I wasn't going to do a video today because I just got back into town, but it has been a long time, and this would be the first week, if I didn't record something today, it'd be the first week in a really long time that I didn't record any content for the whole week. I thought about maybe like shooting some videos with the phone, while I was out on the beach and everything, and I just decided to take a full break really from crypto and DeFi in general and just the YouTube content. You guys saw in my chat, I would post some videos and some pictures and some of the fun stuff we were doing, but had a really good time, went out, spent some time in Southern California, visited the in-laws, did all that type of stuff. So besides being in the Telegram chats just a little bit, I pretty much just took a total break, and it was kind of nice to get away, kind of refreshing. So I'm back, and I'm just gonna hit some stuff real quick, updates while I was gone. Drip, as you guys know, you guys have probably seen it on every other channel. It's just coasting. It's now down to 21 cents. So this is, I believe, an all-time low. I think we hit 21 cents earlier in the week, and now it's back down to 21 cents. Just as I predicted, if Drip Drop Draw didn't come out, I thought we'd see a new low. We have seen a new low, so I'm hoping it at least stays above in the 20s and we don't see the teens, but it could happen. Potentially, there's no reason that the price would have any increase or really probably stay stable until Triple D comes out. So once that happens, people will have a reason to buy, they'll have a reason to hold because they think the price is increasing. However, I do think when that initial price increases, there's millions of drips sitting in wallets. I think people are waiting to sell to where they can get a little bit better price, and good for them. If you build up the drip, there's nothing wrong with selling. So that's where we're sitting at. I have been reading some of the updates. It looks like Triple D's getting super close. Maybe it's like a next week thing. I don't even care to speculate anymore. It's been so long. I'm just gonna wait till it actually gets here, and then I'll be really excited about it. I'll do some content on it. But until that time, I'm just gonna hang back. But from some of the people that I know that are actually in the testing group, they're saying it's super slick and it's looking really good. So I'm hoping that's the catalyst to get drip back up into the 75 cent, $2 range, and over time see if we can get somewhere we can build in a price floor. Right now we don't really have one. We're just slowly bleeding out, but I think with the layer 2 it'll be helpful, show that that's working. So should be an interesting ride. I'm optimistic by nature, but I'm not going to be overly optimistic on this one. I think we could drop into the teens if it's not out by probably early next week. So over the weekend, a lot of times we see just selling happen, as you guys have seen. Week in and week out, most weekends we take a little dip, so we could easily, of course, it's only 2 cents away from being in the teens, so we could easily see a new all-time low, which is really unfortunate. It kind of sucks because drip has so much potential, but that is the way things are. So let me just hit the important things next. Speakeasy officially, the original one, the contract drained, so that one is closed. They're moving over to his new protocol, the drinks token one, which is going to be super cool. I did buy a bunch of drinks tokens so that I can apply them to the new contract when it's available. It's not ready now, but I think we're going to see it sometime in July. Next up, this is a big one, and that is Wolf Capital. What's going on with Wolf Capital? I'll just give you my 2 cents here. I'm not going to go deep into everything. I couldn't go on the multi-hour AMAs that Trav and Ox were on. They talked about all the details, so I would go listen to those to get your answers. But basically what's happening is they pause the rewards for the week. They'll start back up on Monday, and it will be a variable rate. They have not been able to sustain the payout rate that they have, so the protocol has been working partially with Ponzi-nomics. What they're attempting to do is say, okay, we built up $9 million in capital. We've got a lot of trading capital and everything that we can use. We're not reaching the same margins that we were before. We're just going to go fully dynamic and non-Ponzi-nomic. So they're going to pay you out, the percentage that they're actually making, and they'll keep the fee. In between that time, until they've reached a threshold that's non-Ponzi-nomic, they're going to take a portion of the funds that they're making and trading to start to pay back until they can get to that flat line. Because right now they're in the hole from the percentages that they paid out to what they're actually making. So they're just trying to close the gap, get to break even, and then everything from that point on will be no Ponzi. So in the end, it sucks. I wish some of this stuff could just last forever at the percentage rate, but it's not really feasible. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it. I like the zero Ponzi scheme. It's just better that way for the long term. If you got on this protocol early when I said, hey, get into this stuff early, if you got in with me early, you should have ROI by now if you were taking anything reasonable in profits. I doubled down. I kept making larger and larger deposits because I didn't want little stakes in here. I wanted to be able to claim a good amount and not waste my gas. That was before really they did the claim all button, which was super helpful. But even with the amount that I would take out and then put back in, I've still ROI'd from that. Some of these funds that I redeposited were funds that I made, so technically I had already made that money back, but you guys understand if you've done the same thing. But in the end, if you got in early, you should have ROI'd by now. If you did any sort of responsible profit taking, if you got in the mid-range, then you're probably still pretty good, but it did, the percentage rate has dropped from 2% to, what was it, 1.5 to now 1.1. Now it's going variable. If you just got in, this is unfortunate for you because you don't get the benefit of the higher rates. So you're going to have a little lull period while they close the gap and before you can ROI. But that's the process here. I preach a couple of different things. None of this is financial advice, of course, but when I get into protocols, I just try to feel as good as I can about them. I will allocate as much capital that I feel like I can lose in it in case I'm wrong and it goes the wrong way, and that does happen sometimes. And then I try to get in early right away, because if the protocol lasts a certain amount of time, the people who got in early are the highest likelihood to profit. Now, it is risky. You don't know whether that project's going to be good. Some of these projects are rugging 2-3 days, right? I'm trying to get in on day one. So there has been some times that I've thought the protocol looked decent, I've got in, and then it's rugged, and then I've got burnt. But there's been a lot more times over the course of the last couple of years where I've waited around to see if the project's good, it looks good, I get in, and I'm just a little bit too late. I'll get most of my money back or half my money back, but then the protocol ends up dying. So honest devs, I just didn't get in early enough. So for me, the risk reward ratio errs on the side of getting in early, trying to get my money out of it, and then, run the risk of being rug pulled a time or two. So that's what I did here. That's what I recommend you guys doing. But that's the updates. I'll give you more specifics as I get them and go and listen to that stuff. But you don't really need to know much more than that. Frankly, that's about as easy as it gets. Everything will restart on Monday. There will have a variable rate. And I'm interested to see if this daily earnings is correct, or if it's got to be like more of a trailing indicator, if you will. Now, moving on. ARK isn't looking really good. I'll just touch on it real quick. Right now the price is down to 39 cents. So that of course is not ideal. I do have to do a video on one I've been in for a while, but it's part of the drip community. It's called Auto Drip Burner. Super cool protocol. I haven't done a video on it because we thought Triple D was going to come out, and we just thought, hey, if I start talking about this, then it's going to distract from that. We're not sure when Triple D is going to come out, so I think we're just going to hit it and try to get some eyes on it because it does help the drip and animal farm ecosystem together. TrueFund, still rocking. Everything looks awesome. 341,000 in deposits. I mean, so far this thing's paying out. I would just say if you are in it, do have some sort of responsible profit-taking strategy because it is Ponzi-nomics. It won't last forever. So just make sure you're making good decisions and you are taking some profit. 9 to 5 is another one that is still doing well. I'm just continuing to build my balance up and then take profits responsibly. 36.64 is what I have total invested. It's awesome. Green figures, crushing it. Let me refresh this real quick. All right, there we go. As you can see, I have added to my deposit, so now I'm up to 4,000. I'm taking 500 in profits. Right now, my estimated for the week's 159, which is awesome. Last week was really solid, a little over 8%. Previous week was their low, 3.66. That 10.3 was massive, but they continue to be zero Ponzi, and so I'm loving this protocol. I'm going to keep adding to it. This is, frankly, for me, it's my new Wolf Capital. I still think Wolf is going to do solid, but this one's just earlier on, $643,000 total invested. I think they're going to get to $1 million before too long. They're splitting up the bots. It should be an interesting ride, but I want to get this to at least 5,000, which is basically what my goal was over on Wolf Capital, and I surpassed that. So I'm going to get this one up, take weekly profits, and everything is going to be smooth. And last but not least, BUSD Bank Vault. I had an AMA with the owner, King Tut, last Friday. So I let you guys know kind of how to get in. I didn't do a full tutorial because it was really more informative for him to come on and talk, but it's relatively simple. Of course, you'll sign in. If you want an extra percentage, you can buy one of these NFTs. If you don't, it's fine without it. The percentages are between 3 and 4%. So you get 3% daily if you don't have one of these, and 4% if you do. So that's awesome. I went for the NFT because I want to get paid out a little bit faster. Like I said, I like to get in things early, and if I can maximize my percentage, I'm going to do that. This one is has done extremely well. In 1 week, they've got 323,000. So, by the end of the day, when they actually launched in exactly 7 days, probably be about 325,000 total value locked, which was incredible for a project like this. It is kind of like your basic miner. It is Ponzi-nomics, so just be aware of that. But if you'd like to get into it, I recommend doing it early on. So we're a week in. I don't know that I'd wait another week. I would do it now. People are going to be depositing some more money in here because they're launching the new protocol today, the additional add-on. To get more information on this, because I don't have time to explain it right now, you want to go watch the AMA that I did with him, because it's fantastic. They're basically building out an ecosystem, BUSD Bank Vault, BUSD Bank Nodes, and they all kind of play off each other. So it'll help me that I have, of course, an NFT here. If I can get this balance up, I think, to 1,500 staked, it's going to give me an additional percentage in the new protocol. So they kind of play off each other, which is nice. But if you want to get it in this one and earn 3%, you don't even have to buy the NFT. You'll just come in here. I'll have a link somewhere down below. Come in here, approve the amount that you want to spend, stake the BUSD. You can claim it any time. As you can see, I've got $7.11 here. So far, I've done a couple of compounds, a couple of collects, and I'm just trying to take profits responsibly. Because the way it's set up, like I said, if I have $1,500 here staked, then I get a higher percentage in the other protocol. I do think that getting into this first one's probably most important. I'll try to do a video on the banknotes one. It launches at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. And I know that, I don't know, it's hard for me to get a video out right now. I like to do it on launch. Why don't I try to do one tonight and then maybe post it tomorrow? Because it's Friday night, right? Most of you guys are out partying or doing your thing. Most people aren't getting into new protocols. So let me see if I can get a little tutorial video put together, because I am going to jump into it. I got a little money set aside to play with it. And since it's going to give me an additional boost here, I figure why not do both? So it won't be anything too crazy, but just a quick tutorial about how it works and how it benefits you over here. But if you're going to get into one or the other, frankly, I'd say probably get into this one, because it's going to continue getting more capital. And this one is kind of kept alive by every future protocol, because you have benefit to holding an NFT or to having a certain balance in here or whatever. So anyway, that's how you get into this one. It's doing extremely well. The dev's trusted. He's had multiple projects in the past, none of them rugged, so I think it's solid. It's one of those honest Ponzi, right? Ponzi-nomics, first in, first out, but there's just some good gameplay here. We've seen that. It's no different than Baked Beans version 2 or any of that type of stuff, right? These are miners. You got to treat them as such. Get in early, swing the sledgehammer, take your profits as you go, try to be responsible about it. You can do claim only, or you can do a little compound claim mixture, which is what I'm doing. So more on that later. Next week, we've got an AMA on Tuesday for Foodtopian with Crypto Phil, my buddy over there. On Thursday, we've got another AMA with Pocket Aces. Very sorry for the one we had to cancel. That Wallet Connect issue was causing a bunch of stuff. Our server was down, so nothing was reporting correctly. And we were just like, if we have an AMA and nothing works, people are going to think there's a problem with the project. So anyway, by the next day, that was all sorted out. But I was heading out of town. I didn't want to try to squeeze it into that week. I was out of town, of course, all this week until now. And so next week was the optimum time to get in and do another AMA. So excited about that one as well. It'll get our platform out to more people. And I think it'll be really cool because we've passed pretty much every inspection. I think we have an electrical one on Monday. And then after that, we just need to get some final signatures. We can start serving food. So pretty exciting. If you don't know much about the Foodtopian project, I've got AMAs on my channel in the live section that I've done with the team. And then if not, just tune in next week and we're going to have a couple back-to-back that'll be pretty cool. So anyway, just a quick flash update. I know some of you guys are not in very many of those projects. Some of you guys are in all of them, all my DGen buddies out there. But that's just the update. I have been turning down projects left and right. There's just, I don't know. If I don't feel good about it, then I'm just turning it down. You know what I mean? If it's not looking really solid, or if we don't know much about the dev's background or whatever, I haven't even been playing. Most of the time with those, if I feel decent about it, I'll do it. I'll just throw in a lower dollar amount. Even those ones that are on the cusp, I'm just not taking right now. I haven't had a lot of time. And so, I'm trying to make sure we don't get into any rugs, which obviously I'm always doing, but I'm denying any protocols that even look or smell like previous ones that didn't go well for us. So that's the update. Next week, we will have another protocol from a previous dev that we worked with. The protocol did really well. I won't say what it is yet, but the owner has done 2 previous protocols that I covered, ROI'd on both, no rug pulls, perfectly honest. He's doing another one, so that's an ideal scenario for me to get in. If I've worked with a dev in the past and he's been honest and it went well, I'm going to go into the next one. Like I said on the AMA with King Tut, I want a stable of devs that are constantly creating new projects or whatever. And as long as there's no rugs and they're honest and they do well and we ROI in most of them, then I'm definitely going to go back to the well and cover their next project when they come out with it. So anyway, that's it, guys. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you have a great weekend. Expect a video from me tomorrow on that BUSD banknotes, because I think if I get it out later, like I said, it'll be Friday night, no one will watch it, but I'll shoot it out tomorrow just so you got the opportunity to get in right away. And again, that's my strategy. I try to get in as close to launch as possible, and then I let the chips fall where they may. But that's it. Happy investing.